So how's it going, guys? It's your boy Big C-DOGG coming at you. So before I get into the topic of today's video, I just want to take time say, I'm going to be working on pumping out more videos. Um, Now that I feel I have everything kind of lined up properly between my work life, my personal life, and my YouTube life. um, Now that that's out of the way, so a couple of weeks ago, I was just, scrolling through Facebook and everything. I saw an interesting article um, about North and South Korea finally ending the war that's been ravaging that country for 7 decades or so. And I've talked to a lot of people about it. And I've asked them, what do you think about this sudden peace treaty between North and South Korea? And, for the most part, not a lot of people care that North and South Korea have finally ended the war because, quote unquote, it has nothing to do with the U.S. A lot of people, myself included, see it as a massive Trojan horse, basically trying to cover up the real intentions that North and South Korea might have. And just little odd and end shit like that. So, before I get into what I found out about this whole little, I'm sorry, before this whole peace treaty between North and South Korea took place, um, I want to take this time, ask you guys to leave down in the comments section below to, basically just tell me what your thoughts are on the matter. Do you think it's a good thing that they're finally ending the war? Do you see a longevity and peace between North and South Korea? Do you even care? Or do you see this as a Trojan horse? So now that all that preliminary shit's out of the way, couple weeks ago, matter of fact, probably about a week and a half tops prior to me seeing this news article on Facebook about North and South Korea finally deciding to end the 7 decade war that has ravaged that country, I was doing a little bit of snooping around on the dark web. For those of you who might not know what the dark web is, to put it like to put it in simple terms, there's shit on there that is not for the faint of heart. Plain and simple. So anyway, I was doing some snooping around on the dark web, see what I could find out, see what people could tell me about what's going on with CERN and shit like that. And I came across a link in one of the forums that led me to a page that had a bunch of, documents on it, news articles, shit like that. And the one article that I found interesting, the headline was, shit, what was that headline? It was something like U.S. planning chemical weapons attack, or something along that line. And yeah, U.S. planning a chemical weapons attack. I have or had the details of that article saved on my notepad, but my notepad doesn't seem to be wanting to work right now. So anyway, so I decided to go in, read the article, and I have to say what I read in that article as an American, it pissed me off but as a conspiracy theorist, a critical thinker, for a lot of you people out there who look at people like me, we're completely fucking batshit crazy, shit like that. Whatever you want to call me, whatever I call myself, that's completely up to you. But as an American, it pissed me off. As a conspiracy theorist and a critical thinker, it really didn't surprise me any because, I mean, let's face it, the U.S. government's always hiding shit, always planning shit behind that veil of secrets they have. So I'm reading the article, and the first thing I see is U.S. planning a chemical weapons attack against the U.S. And that's what pissed me off right there, is that our own government is basically planning a chemical weapons attack on this country. And it all goes back to what I've said before. I actually think I did post that video. If I didn't, I apologize. But it goes back to the shit I've been talking about before with people on the streets, my friends, um, and shit like that. When it comes down to this whole weapons ban that they're trying to enforce onto the United States citizens. And that is basically taking away our rights to bear arms. And I continue reading this article, and it stated in the article that a quote from North Korean government, um, which was, if the United States attacked its own people, they would not sit by as passive onlookers. They would declare war on the United States and destroy the empire of evil. This is coming straight from Korean government, North Korean government. And to go back to what I touched on earlier with the peace treaty. So, like I said, about a week and a half later, I see that article on. It had a whole video clip and everything, but I saw the article on Facebook about North and South Korea finally ending the 7-decade war that has ravaged their country. And at first I'm like, okay, cool. They're finally coming to terms with shit. They're finally signing a peace treaty. And then in a split second, it's like, okay, this is the biggest Trojan horse I've ever seen in my life. This could even be bigger than the original Trojan horse, with, I believe it was the Battle of Troy. Me and history, yeah, it wasn't always my strongest subject in in school. I work more with mythology than anything else. But I do believe it was the Battle of Troy um, that introduced the original Trojan horse. And I'm just like, okay, so let me get this straight. I read an article saying that the United States is planning a chemical weapons attack against the United States, and that North Korea vowed that it would wipe out the empire of evil should the United States do so. And now all of a sudden we have a peace treaty after 7 decades of war between North and South Korea. So, in my personal opinion, this isn't so much a peace treaty between the two countries. This is literally a matter of they are gearing up to literally wipe motherfuckers out if the United States government goes forward with their plan for the chemical weapons attack. And after reading that article about the chem weapons attack, I'm just like, okay, every empty Walmart in the country is being turned into a FEMA camp. And it's not just Walmarts, there's even a few David's Bridals, it's empty Sam's Clubs. Um, it could literally be any empty store in the country. If you see barbed wire around the roofs of these empty buildings, then that building is part of the whole FEMA camp operation. And I'm like, okay, so chemical weapons attack. North Korea is going to declare war on the United States should it go forward with the chemical weapons attack on the United States. And then we have these Walmart, David Bridal, Sam's Club, FEMA camps. I'm like, okay. For those of you who may not know, the plan for the FEMA camps with the empty Walmarts and the David's Bridals and the Sam's Clubs and all that is a mass sterilization project. Basically, taking people, putting them into these buildings, and against their own will, these people are being sterilized, meaning they will not be able to reproduce. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's quite a few people on this planet that just shouldn't reproduce, but to do something like that against the public's will, I do not condone at all. That's to me that's like abortion. No, fuck no. Fuck no. And everything's starting to come into play. Now the initial plan with the FEMA camps was for the United States government to use a form of mind control to get people to go into these camps. Now, with this whole introduction of a possible chemical weapons attack from the United States government on the United States and the war that Korea is going to go into with the United States should the government do that, what better way to control the minds of the public than with war? So, again, I see this as a massive Trojan horse. Um, I do believe that Korea is getting ready to go to war with the United States. I believe the chemical weapons attack is right around the fucking corner. And, it's going to be shoved down everyone's throat that the safest places in the country are not going to be, bomb shelters. Because, I mean, let's face it, only the fucking rich will be able to go into a bomb shelter because they're the only ones that can afford a fucking bomb shelter. Unless you're, an end of the world prepper. In which case you already have your own damn bomb shelter. But, for those of us who don't have a bomb shelter, for those of us who are going to be so stupid as to follow the wolves literally into the slaughterhouse, it's going to be crammed down everyone's throat. Go to these buildings. These are the safest buildings in the country. You'll never be touched. Nothing, no harm will happen to you. And that's a massive lie. That'll be one of the biggest fucking lies ever told by the government. They've told some pretty massive fucking lies. So, again, leave down in the comment section below what you guys think about it. I'm going to cut the video off here with the discussion because I don't want to go, rambling on for 20 minutes. As always, like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on that notification bell so you can be kept up to date with everything. And I will do my absolute best to be pumping out more videos. I'm planning on doing quite a few more videos this week, in fact. Finally going to be getting back into the Wake Up series. As a matter of fact, this, if you haven't already seen by the title, or you couldn't tell by the title, this is actually part of the Wake Up series. And just, yeah, start preparing, guys. Start fucking preparing. Because shit's about to hit the fan, and whether it's a war coming from South Korea because of a chemical weapons attack on the United States by the United States, some kind of alien invasion, or just some literally some off the wall end of the world scenario. Be prepared. The last thing I'm going to leave you guys with is defend your rights. Don't buy in to all of this bullshit trying to be shoved down everyone's throats with gun quality control. You know, and I know, that the government's doing whatever they can to strip away your rights. That this teenage, not neo-Nazi fake Hitler motherfucker, he's all part of the government's plan. And don't take this the wrong way. I, I'm not trying to offend anyone with this next statement, but that dyke ass fucking bitch that's with him, it's all part of the government's control. I have nothing against gay people, but that her I'd fucking offend any day. Any day. Both of them. I'd offend them any fucking day. Because they are being funded by the government, they're being controlled by the government. It's all part of the government's fucking plan to literally be able to commit a mass fucking genocide against a defenseless people. So stand up for your rights, stand up for something, but stand up and don't take their shit. It is time to wake up, everybody. The hunt has begun. The only question remains is, are you the hunters or the hunted?